Jump complete in 3, 2, 1. Captain Taewon Park gripped the arms of his command chair as the Earth exploration vessel Resilient shuddered. The view screen flashed white, then cleared to reveal unfamiliar stars. "Status report," Park ordered, his voice steady despite the tension in his shoulders. Lieutenant Ji-ho tapped rapidly at his console. "Sir, the jump was successful, but we're not at our planned coordinates. We've traveled much further than expected." Park frowned. The Resilient was Earth's newest deep space exploration vessel, equipped with an experimental hyperspace drive. This was supposed to be a simple test jump, 20 light-years out, then back home. "How far off course are we?" Park asked. Ji-ho looked up, his face pale. "Sir, based on stellar positioning, we're approximately 1,200 light-years from Earth." A hush fell over the bridge. Chief Engineer Ha-jun whispered something that sounded like a prayer. "That's impossible," Park said. "The drive wasn't designed to jump that far." "Sir," called Security Officer Yoon-hee from her station, "I'm detecting multiple ships approaching our position. They're moving fast." Park straightened, in his chair. First contact with an alien civilization wasn't part of today's mission plan, but every Earth ship carried the standard first contact protocols. "Open communications channels," Park ordered. "Prepare the universal greeting package." Yoon-hee nodded, fingers flying across her console. "Channels open, sir. Broadcasting greeting package on all frequencies." The greeting package was simple. Mathematical sequences proving intelligence, basic language primers, and peaceful imagery from Earth. It had been designed by the best minds on the planet, though no one had ever had a chance to use it before. "No. Response to our transmission," Yoon-hee reported. "The ships are still approaching. 17 vessels, sir, in attack formation." Park felt his mouth go dry. "Attack formation? Are you certain?" "Yes, sir. Their weapon systems appear to be active." "Defense shields up," Park ordered. "Continue broadcasting the greeting package. Make it clear we're peaceful." The alien ships were visible on the view screen now, sleek, angular vessels with glowing blue engines. They moved with precision, spreading out to surround the Resilient. "Sir, they're locking weapons on us," Yoon-hee reported, her voice tight. "Keep broadcasting," Park insisted. "They may not understand." The ship rocked violently. Warning alarms blared throughout the bridge. "Direct hit on our port side," Ha-jun called out. "Shields holding at 82%. Park's training kicked in. "Evasive maneuvers, return fire, defensive pattern only." The Resilient turned sharply, its engines flaring as Ji-ho guided the ship away from the alien fleet. The ship's defense systems activated automatically, targeting the incoming missiles with precision laser fire. "Sir, what about first contact? Protocols?" asked Communications Officer Soo-jin. "They fired first," Park said grimly. "Self-defense takes priority now." Another blast hit the Resilient, stronger this time. The lights flickered. "Shields at 64%, Ha-jun reported. "They're using some kind of energy weapon we've never seen before." Park watched as the alien ships continued their attack. There was no hesitation, no attempt at communication. Whatever these aliens were, they clearly saw the Resilient as a threat. "Sir, I think I'm picking up their communications," Yoon-hee said suddenly. "The translator is having trouble, but they keep repeating one phrase that sounds like void weapon." "They think we're a weapon?" Park asked, incredulous. "It makes sense," Ji-ho said, not looking up from his piloting controls. "We appeared suddenly in what might be their territory. They might think we're some kind of new threat." The ship rocked again. "Shields at 47%, Ha-jun called. "We can't take much more of this." Park made a quick decision. "Ji-ho, plot a course away from their fleet, maximum speed." "Sir, if we run, we'll look guilty," Soo-jin protested. "If we stay, we'll be destroyed," Park countered. "We need to retreat and reassess." Ji-ho nodded. "Course plotted, sir. Ready on your command." "Execute," Park ordered. The Resilient's engines blazed, pushing the ship forward at acceleration rates that would have crushed the crew, if not for the inertial dampeners. 3 of the alien ships moved to intercept, firing constantly. "They're targeting our engines," Ha-jun warned. "Evasive pattern Delta," Park ordered. Return fire if needed to clear our path. The Resilient twisted and turned, avoiding most of the incoming fire. When one alien ship moved directly into their escape path, the Resilient's defensive systems automatically fired, hitting the alien vessel's engines. To everyone's surprise, the alien ship exploded completely. "What just happened?" Park demanded. Hajun checked his readings. "Sir, our defensive lasers are more powerful than their shields. I don't think they expected that." The destruction of one ship caused momentary confusion among the alien fleet. The Resilient used that moment to increase its distance. But two more alien ships pursued closely. "They're still on us," Jiho reported. "And they're fast." "Reroute power from non-essential systems to engines and shields," Park ordered. The pursuing ships fired again. One shot missed, but the other hit the Resilient's rear shields directly. "Shields at 23%, Hajun shouted. "Another direct hit and they'll fail." Park's mind raced. They couldn't outrun these ships, and fighting 17-1 wasn't an option. "Jiho, are there any nearby stellar phenomena we can use for cover?" Jiho scanned quickly. "There's an asteroid field about 30 seconds away at current speed. It's dense. Might slow them down." "Head there," Park ordered. "Hajun, can we use the hyperspace drive again? Jump back to Earth?" Hajun shook his head. "The drive needs at least 12 hours to recharge after a jump, especially one as unexpected as this, and there may be damage we haven't detected yet." Debrief. View screen showed the asteroid field ahead. A chaotic cluster of rocks ranging from car-sized to mountain-sized. 2 alien ships still in pursuit, Yoon-hee reported. "The others are falling back but launching smaller craft." "Into the asteroid field," Park ordered. "Jiho, can you navigate it?" Jiho nodded, his face tense with concentration. "Yes, sir. It won't be pretty, but I can do it." The Resilient plunged into the field of tumbling rocks. Jiho's hands flew over the controls, guiding the ship through narrow gaps between asteroids. The pursuing alien ships followed, firing whenever they had a clear shot. "They're gaining on us," Yoon-hee warned. "Ha-jun, what about our rear torpedo launcher?" Park asked. "Is it operational?" "Yes, sir, but we only have 4 torpedoes," Ha-jun replied. "Target the largest asteroids near the pursuing ships," Park ordered. "Don't hit the ships directly, just change the asteroids' paths." Ha-jun nodded, understanding the plan. The Resilient fired 2 torpedoes, not at the alien ships but at large asteroids near them. The explosions sent massive chunks of rock flying in all directions. One alien ship managed to avoid the debris. The other wasn't so lucky. A house-sized asteroid slammed into its side, sending it spinning into the path of more rocks. "One pursuit ship disabled," Yoon-hee reported. "The other is still following." "Same trick again," Park ordered. "Then find us somewhere to hide." The remaining 2 torpedoes caused more chaos in the asteroid field. The last pursuing ship had to break off its attack to avoid destruction. Jiho guided the Resilient deep into the densest part of the field, where the larger rocks provided cover from sensors. Finally, he brought the ship to a relative stop in the shadow of an enormous asteroid. "I think we lost them," Jiho said, wiping sweat from his forehead. The bridge crew sat in stunned silence, processing what had just happened. Their simple test mission had turned into a disaster. "Damage report," Park finally said. Ha-jun checked his systems. "Shields at 16%, hull integrity at 92%. We have multiple systems damaged, including long-range communications and the hyperspace drive. Repairs will take time." Park nodded slowly. "Yoon-hee, any sign of pursuit?" "Not at present, sir, but they're still out there searching." Park looked around at his crew, all trained explorers and scientists, now thrust into a battle none of them had expected. "I want a full sensor sweep of this region," he ordered. "Let's find out where we are, who attacked us, and what our options are." As the crew turned to their tasks, Park stared at the unfamiliar stars on the view screen. One human ship had appeared in this region of space, and somehow they had already started a war. Admiral Hyun-ki stood before the conquered High Council, his shoulders slumped. The giant screen behind him showed the battle footage that had played 100 times already, his ships firing on the unknown vessel, and then, impossibly, the small ship escaping after destroying 3 conquered cruisers. You had 17 warships, said High Chancellor Do Hyun, his voice cold. And you failed to destroy one alien vessel. The ship had technology we have never seen, Hyun-ki said. Their shields absorbed our energy weapons. Their point defense system stopped our missiles. They were faster than— Enough excuses! Do-hyun slammed his fist on the table. You are relieved of command. Guards took Hyun-ki away. The council chamber fell silent until the doors closed behind him. This human ship presents an existential threat to the conquered, Do-hyun said. If one ship can do this damage, imagine what their fleet could do. A new officer stepped forward, his uniform crisp and perfect. Admiral Sang-min reporting as ordered, High Chancellor. Do-hyun nodded. Your orders are simple, Admiral. Find this human ship. Destroy it. Use whatever resources you need. Sang-min bowed. It will be done. Captain Taewon Park looked at the damage reports on his tablet and sighed. The Resilient floated hidden in a dense asteroid field. Emergency repairs underway. Sparks flew as crew members worked on exposed wiring and broken systems. Captain, external communications are still down, reported Lieutenant Ji-ho. We can't contact Earth. And the jump drive? Park asked. Chief Engineer Ha-jun shook his head. 3 months of repairs minimum. We're stuck here. Park rubbed his tired eyes. Any idea where here is? Based on star positions, we're about 2,200 light-years from Earth, said Ji-ho. We jumped much farther than planned. Park stared at the starfield visible through the viewport. And we managed to jump right into the middle of some alien war zone. Actually, sir, said Security Officer Yoon-hee, approaching with a small alien device. I've been translating their communications. It's not a war zone. That fleet was just their border patrol. Park's eyes widened. Border patrol? They attacked us with 17 warships as a routine response. Yes, sir. They call themselves the Galactic Conquered. 17 species working together, controlling about a quarter of this galaxy. Park whistled. And they think we're the enemy. Worse, Yoon-hee said. They think we're some new weapon from something called the Void Collective. They're other enemies. A proximity alarm sounded. Ji-ho rushed to his station. Captain, 6 small ships approaching through the asteroid field. Not Concord design. Battle stations, Park ordered. Weapons online. Wait, Yoon-hee said, listening to her translator. They're sending a message in Concord Standard Language. Human ship, we mean no harm. We offer trade and assistance. Park hesitated. It could be a trap. Sir, our supplies are limited, Ha-jun reminded him. We need help. Park nodded. Allow one ship to approach. Keep weapons locked on the others. The alien who walked onto the Resilience bridge looked almost human, except for her silver skin and large, dark eyes. She called herself Yoon-ji. So you're the humans everyone is talking about, she said, looking around with obvious curiosity. The ship that escaped Admiral Hyun-ki's fleet. We didn't mean to start a fight, Park explained. We were testing a new drive system. Yoon-ji laughed. Well, you certainly got the Conquered's attention. They've replaced Hyun-ki with Admiral Sang-min, the most ruthless officer in their fleet. Half their ships are searching for you. We need repairs and supplies, Park said. Can you help us? Yoon-ji smiled. My people are traitors, and sometimes smugglers. The Conquered calls us criminals because we don't bow to their authority. We can help you, but it will cost you. We don't have much to trade, Park admitted. Yoon-ji pointed to the ship's systems. Your technology is different. Your shields, your weapons, your engines. Show us how they work, and we'll get you what you need. Park looked at his officers. Ha-jun nodded slightly. Deal, Park said. Over the next few days, the Resilience crew learned much about the galaxy they had stumbled into. Yoon-ji's people brought parts and supplies, and Ha-jun shared basic knowledge about human technology. The Conquered has ruled this sector for 2,000 years, Yoon-ji explained as she sat with Park in the ship's small mess hall. They believe they are superior to all other life forms. Any species that refuses to join them is either destroyed or driven to the outer regions. And your people? Park asked. We were once part of the Concord, she said, until we questioned their methods. Now we live on the edges, trading with those the Concord ignores. Park frowned. So they're an empire, not a cooperative. Exactly, Yunji said. And now they fear you. One human ship fought off their fleet. They're terrified of what would happen if more humans arrived. Park stared into his coffee. We're just explorers. We didn't come looking for a fight. But you fought well when attacked, Yunji observed. The Concord Council is already calling humans an existential threat. They've ordered your destruction. We need to contact Earth, Park said. Warn them about the Concord. Yunji leaned forward. There's something else you should know. There are many species who hate the Concord's rule. Your arrival, your survival, has given them hope. We're just one ship, Park protested. One ship that stood against the Concord and survived, Yunji said. That hasn't happened in centuries. Admiral Sang-mian stood on the bridge of his flagship studying the star map. 12 star systems highlighted, 200 patrol ships deployed. No sign of the human vessel, Admiral, his second-in-command reported. They're receiving help, Sang-min said. Increase patrols in areas known for smuggler activity. Offer rewards for information. Yes, Admiral. Sang-min stared at the map. The High Chancellor wants daily reports. This human ship makes the Concord look weak. That cannot stand. Sir, our analysts have finished studying the battle data, said a science officer. The human technology is concerning. Explain. Sang-min ordered. Their shields didn't just block our weapons. They absorbed the energy. Their point defense systems tracked and destroyed our missiles with perfect accuracy. And their propulsion system doesn't match any known design. Sang-min frowned. How could a primitive species develop such technology? We have a theory, the officer said nervously. Based on what little we observed of their communications and ship design, we believe humans have spent centuries fighting each other. Fighting themselves? Sang-min asked, confused. Yes, sir. While the Concord has been stable for millennia, the humans may have been driving their technology forward through constant warfare. Sang-min's eyes narrowed. Then they are even more dangerous than we thought. Back on the Resilient, repairs, we're progressing. Park called his senior officers together. We have 3 options, he said. First, keep hiding and hope we can eventually repair the jump drive to return to Earth. Second, try to find allies and a safe haven in this galaxy. Or third? Third? Jiho asked. Fight back, Park said quietly. Use what we know about the EO. Concord to strike at them, maybe find others who want freedom from their rule. The room was silent. We're explorers, not warriors, Ha-jun said. But we're also survivors, Yoon-hee countered. And the Concord won't stop hunting us. Park looked at each of them. Yunji has received reports. The Concord is already attacking worlds suspected of helping us. Innocent people are dying because of our presence. Jiho straightened his shoulders. Then we have a responsibility. Park nodded. We find allies. We gather intelligence. And when the time is right, we show the Concord that they picked the wrong species to threaten. Outside the viewport, distant, stars twinkled. Somewhere out there, Admiral Sang-min's fleet was hunting them. And beyond that, Earth remained unaware of the storm coming its way. The hunt had begun. Captain Park stood before his assembled crew in the Resilient's main cargo bay. 2 weeks had passed since they escaped the Concord fleet. Repairs were still ongoing, but the ship was operational again. We can't keep running forever, Park said, his voice echoing in the large space. There are too many Concord ships searching for us. Sooner or later they'll find us. So what's the plan, Captain? Asked Lieutenant Jiho. Park nodded to Security Officer Yoon-hee, who activated a holographic display showing a small moon. This is Seong B, a moon in the Tarim system, Park explained. According to Eun-ji, it houses a major Concord communications hub. If we can access it, we could learn their patrol routes, maybe even find allies. Chief Engineer Ha-jun looked skeptical. You want us to attack a Concord facility? We barely escaped their fleet before. Not attack, infiltrate, Park clarified. Yunji's people will help us approach undetected. We'll use her ship, disguised as a supply transport. The crew exchanged nervous glances. This is risky, Communications Officer Su-jin said. If we do nothing, we'll be caught anyway. Park cut in. But you all have a choice. I won't order anyone to join this mission. One by one, the crew members volunteered. No one stayed behind. 3 days later, Park, Hajun, and Yoon-hee boarded Yoonji's small ship, the Star Trader. Disguised as maintenance workers, they approached Seongbi Moon. The rest of the Resilience crew waited nearby, hidden behind the system's gas giant. Concord Control, this is supply ship ST-427 requesting docking clearance, Yoonji said into her comm system. Supply ship ST-427 transmit authorization codes, replied a bored-sounding Concord officer. Yoonji sent the codes, purchased at great expense from black market sources. After a tense moment, the reply came. ST-427, you are cleared for docking. Bay 16. Yoonji's ship landed smoothly in the designated bay. Park, Hajun, and Yoon-hee pulled their worker caps lower over their faces and followed Yoonji down the ramp, pushing carts of supplies. Remember, Yoonji whispered, keep your heads down. The Concord doesn't pay attention to service workers. They passed several Concord officers without incident. The communications center was in the central section of the facility. Getting there required passing through 3 security checkpoints. At the first checkpoint, Yoonji presented their forged work orders. The guard barely glanced at them before waving them through. See? Yoonji whispered. Arrogance makes them careless. The second checkpoint was equally simple, but at the third, a guard stopped them. These areas are restricted, he said, eyeing their cart suspiciously. Yoonji smiled. Special delivery for Commander Sung. He ordered these parts personally. The guard frowned. I don't see that on the schedule. Call him if you want, Yoonji said confidently. But he doesn't like being disturbed during his rest period. The guard hesitated, then waved them through. Make it quick. Once inside the communications center's maintenance area, Hajun quickly located an access panel. While Yoonji and the others kept watch, he connected his tablet to the Concord system. Their security is impressive, Hajun muttered as he worked. But they never expected human encryption methods. After several tense minutes, Hajun smiled. I'm in. Downloading. Their communications network data now. How long? Park asked, keeping his voice low. 3 minutes, Hajun replied. Those 3 minutes felt like hours. Finally, Hajun disconnected his tablet. Got it. Let's go. They had almost reached the exit when alarms began blaring throughout the facility. Intruder alert. All security. Personnel to communication center. They found us, Yoon-hee said, reaching for her hidden weapon. Yoonji grabbed her arm. Not us, look. On a nearby screen, they saw the alert details. An unauthorized access had been detected, but in a different section of the facility. Someone else is here, Park realized. Come on, while they're distracted. They hurried toward the docking bay but rounded a corner to find their path blocked by 3 armed guards. Before anyone could react, the guards crumpled to the floor, stunned. Behind them stood a tall, silver-skinned alien holding an advanced weapon. Come with me if you want to live, the alien said. Having no better options, they followed him through a series of maintenance corridors until they reached a small ship docked in an emergency airlock. Who are you? Park demanded once they were safely aboard. My name is Jae Sung, the alien replied. Former Concord general, now considered a traitor. He smiled. And I've been waiting for you, humans. Back on the Resilient, Hajun connected his tablet to the ship's computer. The crew gathered to see what he had discovered. The Concord communications network is vast, Hajun explained. But I found something interesting. They're devoting nearly half their fleet to hunting us. Half their fleet? For one ship? Jiho asked incredulously. They're terrified of us, Park said. Or rather, what we represent. Jae Sung nodded. For centuries, the Concord has told its people that they are the most advanced civilization in the galaxy. Your ship proved that false in a single battle. We're not that advanced, Ha-Jun protested. But you think differently, Jae-sung said. Your technology evolved along different paths. Your shields don't just block energy, they absorb it. Your weapons are precise and effective. Your tactics are unpredictable. Park studied their new ally. Why are you helping us? I commanded Concord forces for 20 years, Jae-sung said. I saw how they treated lesser species. When I spoke against it, they stripped me of rank and tried to execute me. He activated a small device, projecting a map of nearby star systems. Since then, I've built a network of resistance cells. Many species are waiting for a chance to break, free from Concord rule. And you think we're that chance? Park asked skeptically. One human ship fought the Concord and survived, Jae-sung said simply. Word is spreading. 3 systems have already declared open rebellion. Ha-Jun, still examining the stolen data, suddenly looked up. Captain, I found something. The Concord is spreading lies about us. They're telling their people we carry a bioweapon designed to kill all non-human life. That's absurd, Soo-jin said. It's effective propaganda, Jae-sung explained. It justifies using any means to destroy you. Park was quiet for a moment, thinking. Then he looked at Ha-Jun. You said you can access their communications network now? Yes, sir. I understand their encryption. And can you broadcast a message? Through their network. To all Concord systems? Ha-Jun considered this. It would be difficult, but possible. They'd cut us off quickly. How quickly? Maybe 2 minutes before they could block us. Park turned to Soo-jin. 2 minutes to tell the truth to the entire Concord. Can you prepare such a message? Soo-jin nodded slowly. Yes, Captain. Jae-sung was watching Park with growing respect. You're not just trying to survive now, are you? You're going to fight back. Not fight, Park corrected. Resist. There's a difference. 3 days later, during the Concord's prime viewing hours, every screen across 17 star systems suddenly showed Captain Park's face. People of the Galactic Concord, he said calmly. I am Captain Taewon Park of the Earth exploration vessel Resilient. We came to your space by accident. We tried to communicate peacefully. We were attacked without provocation. He continued, speaking simply and directly. Your leaders tell you we carry weapons to destroy you. This is a lie. We are explorers, not conquerors. We respect all life. As Concord technicians scrambled to cut the transmission, Park concluded, if you've suffered under Concord rule, know this, you are not alone. We stand with you. Together we can build a better galaxy, one based on cooperation, not domination. The transmission cut off, but the damage was done. Throughout Concord territory, questions were being asked. Doubts were growing. Admiral Sang-min stood before the High Council, his face tight with anger. The human broadcast reached 80% of our systems before we blocked it, he reported. Rebellions have broken out on 7 worlds. 3 species have declared independence. High Chancellor Do-hyun slammed his fist down. Find that ship. Use the planet killers if you must, but end this now, Sang-min bowed. As you command. But as he left the council chamber, he wondered if it was already too late. One human ship had appeared, and now the galaxy would never be the same. 1 month after Captain Park's broadcast, the Resilient docked inside an abandoned mining facility in the Yun system. The massive asteroid had been hollowed out years ago and forgotten by the Concord. Now it served as the perfect hidden base for the growing rebellion. Park walked through the busy main chamber where members of 12 different species worked together. Some repaired ships, others trained with weapons, and a few huddled around communication devices, coordinating resistance efforts across multiple systems. It's amazing how quickly this has grown, said Jae-sung, falling into step beside Park. Park nodded. People were ready for change. They just needed a spark. And one human ship provided that spark, Jae-sung said. The Concord never expected something like this. They entered a small room that served as their command center. Lieutenant Ji-ho and Chief Engineer Ha-Jun were already there, along with representatives from 3 allied species. Report, Park said as he took his seat at the table. The Concord is getting desperate, Jiho said, activating a holographic map. Admiral Sang-min has been authorized to use planet-killer weapons against any world suspected of harboring rebels. A collective gasp went through the room. Has he used these weapons? Asked Binsa, a representative of the atmospheric-dwelling Seon people. Yesterday, Jiho confirmed grimly. The colony on Maru 7 was completely destroyed. 2 million dead. Silence fell over the room. We need to respond, said Dairo, the crystalline representative of the Min Collective. His faceted body reflected the dim light of the room. But how can we fight against planet killers? We don't have enough ships, added Wu Jie, speaking for the aquatic Wu civilization. The Concord fleet outnumbers us 20-1. Park turned to Hajun. What about the project you've been working on? Hajun hesitated. It's not ready for field testing yet. We've run out of time, Park said. Show them. Hajun activated his tablet, connecting it to the room's display system. A complex diagram appeared. Every Concord ship uses the same command protocol, Hajun explained. It's an advanced system that connects all ship functions, engines, weapons, life support, everything. We know this, Jae-sung said. The protocol is unbreakable. The Concord has used it for centuries. Unbreakable by any encryption method known to the Concord, Hajun corrected. But humans developed different mathematical principles for our computer systems. The alien representatives leaned forward, suddenly interested. 2 weeks ago, Hajun continued, I discovered a fundamental flaw in the Concord protocol. With help from Dairo and the Min Collective, I've developed a program that can exploit this flaw. What does that mean exactly? Asked Binsa. It means we can temporarily shut down Concord ships, Hajun said simply. All systems all at once for about 10 minutes. The room erupted in excited chatter. Quiet, Park called. When silence returned, he asked, What's the range of this shutdown signal? That's the problem, Hajun admitted. It has to be transmitted from fairly close range, about 1,000 kilometers. That means getting our ships dangerously close to Concord vessels. So we need a plan to get close enough without being destroyed, Park said. He turned to Jiho. What's Admiral Sang-min's next target? Jiho studied the tactical display. Based on Concord fleet movements, we believe they're planning to attack the Thai system next. There's a major rebel supply base there. How many ships? Park asked. 37 Concord warships, Jiho answered, including Sang-min's flagship. Jae-sung shook his head. We can't fight that many ships directly. We won't have to, Park said, a plan forming in his mind. Not if Hajun's program works. 2 days later, the Resilient led a small fleet of 9 rebel ships toward the Thai system. They hid in the shadow of the system's outer planet, waiting for the Concord fleet to arrive. On the Resilience bridge, Park watched the tactical display with tense concentration. Beside him, Ha-jun made final adjustments to his program. Concord, fleet detected, Jiho reported. 37 ships entering the system now. Are they in formation? Park asked. Yes, sir. Standard Concord attack pattern. Perfect. Park opened the fleet-wide communication channel. All ships, maintain position. Remember, when the signal is given, you'll have exactly 10 minutes to board and capture as many Concord vessels as possible. Captain, Yoon-hee called from her station. I'm picking up a transmission from the Concord fleet to their homeworld. They're requesting permission to use the planet killer on the Thai system's main world. Park's jaw tightened. How long until they're in range to deploy it? 20 minutes, Yoon-hee answered. Park nodded to Ha-jun. We move now. Signal the fleet. 10 rebel ships emerged from behind the planet, engines at maximum. The Concord fleet immediately detected them and began to respond. They're changing formation, Jiho reported, preparing to engage. Hold course, Park ordered. We need to get closer. The Concord ships opened fire from long range. Most shots missed, but a few struck the rebel ships. Shields at 82%, reported. Ha-jun, we need to get to within 1,000 kilometers. Evasive maneuvers, Park ordered. But keep closing the distance. The rebel ships weaved through the barrage of energy weapons, taking hits, but continuing forward. The distance counter on Park's display ticked down. 2,000 kilometers. 1,500 kilometers. Prepare to transmit the shutdown signal, Park said. Signal ready, Ha-Jun confirmed. All ships, final approach, Park ordered. Get as close as possible to your designated targets. The smaller, more agile rebel ships darted between the conquered warships, which struggled to track their movements. The tactical display showed the rebel fleet now completely surrounded by conquered vessels. Now, Ha-Jun, Park commanded. Ha-Jun activated the program. A pulse of energy radiated from the Resilient and the other rebel ships equipped with the transmitter. 4. A terrible moment, nothing happened. Then, all around them, the lights on the Concorde ships flickered and went dark. Their weapons stopped firing. Their engines shut down. It worked, Ha-Jun exclaimed. All Concorde ships are offline. 9 minutes and 40 seconds remaining, Jiho counted. Boarding teams launching now. From each rebel ship, small shuttles emerged, heading toward the disabled Concorde vessels. Teams of fighters, led by Jai Sung and other former Concorde officers, boarded the powerless warships. How many can we capture in 10 minutes, Park asked. Maybe 5 or 6, Jiho estimated. Focus on the smaller ships first, Park ordered. They'll be easier to secure quickly. The minutes ticked by as the boarding teams worked. Across the tactical display, captured Concorde ships were marked in green as rebel teams secured their bridges and engine rooms. 1 minute remaining, Jiho warned. All teams, complete your captures and return to your shuttles, Park ordered over the comm. As the shutdown effect ended, the lights on the conquered ships began to flicker back on. But by then, rebel teams had captured 11 vessels, far more than expected. Sir, Yoon-hee reported with amazement, the Sion teams captured Admiral Sang-min's flagship. A cheer went up on the Resilience bridge. On the display, the remaining conquered ships, now outnumbered and without leadership, began to retreat in confusion. We did it, Jiho said, barely believing it. We actually defeated a conquered fleet. Not defeated, Park corrected. Transformed. Those ships are ours now. Ha-Jun's program had worked beyond their highest hopes. In one bold strike, the rebellion had acquired a fleet of advanced warships, ships that would allow them to stand against the Concorde as equals. As Park watched, the captured Concorde vessels move into formation alongside the rebel ships, he felt a mixture of pride and concern. The rebellion had just become a true war, and the galaxy would never be the same. On the main conquered world, High Chancellor Do-hyun received the news with stunned disbelief. For the first time in his long life, he felt something he had never expected to feel. Fear. High Chancellor Do-hyun stood before the conquered Inner Council, his voice shaking with barely contained rage. In 3 months, one human ship has done what no enemy has managed in 2,000 years, he said. They have turned our own people against us. They have stolen our ships, and now they control 7 complete star systems. The council members shifted uncomfortably in their seats. What about Admiral Sang-min? Asked one counselor. Captured along with his flagship. Do-hyun replied. The humans are holding him prisoner. Council Representative Gi-seok, who had remained silent until now, finally spoke. Perhaps it is time to consider negotiation. If one human ship can cause this much damage, what will happen when more arrive? Negotiate? Do-hyun spat the word. These humans started this war. They will not live to see its end. They didn't start the war, Gi-seok said calmly. We did. We fired first. We refused to communicate. Perhaps if we had... Enough, Do-hyun shouted. I have ordered all remaining loyal ships to gather for one final assault. We will crush this rebellion and destroy the human ship once and for all. Gi-seok looked around at the other council members. And how many of our own people will die in this final assault? How many innocent lives on both sides? Do-hyun ignored the question. The fleet will attack the rebel base in the Yun system in 3 days. This council session is ended. As the council members filed out, Gi-seok remained seated, deep in thought. Then he made a decision and quietly left the chamber. Captain Park studied the tactical display in the Yun Base Command Center. Around him stood his senior officers and the leaders of the allied species. The Concord is gathering their remaining ships for a massive assault, Park said. According to our intelligence, they will have over 100 warships, including 3 planet killers. How many ships do we have? Asked Jae-sung. 42, Jiho answered. The 11 Concord vessels we captured, plus ships from our allies. We're still outnumbered more than 2 to 1, Yoon-hee observed. Can we evacuate the base? Suggested Wu Jae of the aquatic Wu civilization. There's no time, Park said, and nowhere to go that the Concord wouldn't eventually find us. No, we make our stand here. The door to the command center opened, and Engineer Ha-jun rushed in, his face flushed with excitement. Captain, you need to come to the Resilient right away, he said. There's something you need to see. In the engine room of the Resilient, Ha-jun led Park to the hyperspace drive. The normally dark crystal at its center was glowing with a soft blue light. It's repairing itself, Ha-jun explained. The energy from our battle with the Concord fleet somehow triggered a self-repair sequence. You mean we could jump back to Earth? Park asked, hardly daring to believe it. Theoretically, yes, Ha-jun said. But there's more. While studying the drive, I found something we missed before. He showed Park a series of equations on his tablet. The drive doesn't just move the ship through space, Ha-jun continued. It can also send and receive signals through hyperspace, instantaneously across any distance. Park's eyes widened as he understood. We could contact Earth. We already have, Ha-jun said, unable to contain his smile. I sent a signal with our coordinates and situation report, and Captain, Earth responded. They received our message. For the first time in months, Park felt a surge of hope, but it was quickly tempered by reality. How long until a ship from Earth could reach us? At least 2 months, Ha-jun admitted. And that's if they left immediately. The Concord fleet will be here in 3 days, Park said. We still need to fight this battle on our own. The day of the battle arrived. The rebel fleet formed a defensive line around the Yoon asteroid base. The Resilient, now fully repaired and upgraded with hybrid human-alien technology, took the central position. Concord fleet detected, Jiho reported from his station. 108 ships approaching from multiple vectors. All ships battle formation, Park ordered through the fleet-wide channel. Remember the plan. Focus fire on their command ships first. The rebel ships moved into position. The captured Concord vessels, now painted with rebellion markings, formed the front line. Behind them, ships from the allied species took supporting positions. Enemy fleet will be in weapons range in 2 minutes, Jiho said. Park looked around. The bridge at his crew. These people had followed him through impossible situations, never giving up hope. Whatever happened next, he was proud of them all. Captain, Yoon-hee called suddenly, I'm detecting unusual movement in the Concord fleet. 3 capital ships are breaking formation. They're turning their weapons on the other Concord vessels. What? Park asked, confused. The tactical display confirmed it. 3 massive Concord warships had suddenly changed sides, firing on their own fleet. Incoming transmission, Soo-jin reported. It's from the Concord Council. Put it through, Park ordered. The face of Council Representative Gi-seok appeared on screen. Captain Park, this is Council Representative Gi-seok. I command these 3 ships. We wish to join your cause. Why? Park asked, suspicious of a trap. Because this war is wrong, Gi-seok said simply. The Concord has forgotten its original purpose. To unite species in peace, not dominate them through fear. Many within the Concord itself now question High Chancellor Do-hyun's leadership. With Gi-seok's ships adding to their firepower, the battle that followed was still desperate but no longer hopeless. Do-hyun's fleet outnumbered them, but the rebel ships fought with greater determination and coordination. Ha-jun's shutdown program disabled key Concord vessels at critical moments. The allied species, each using their unique abilities and technologies, created confusion in the Concord formations. After 6 hours of intense combat, the Concord fleet began to withdraw. Do-hyun's flagship had been destroyed, the Chancellor presumed dead. Without his fanatical leadership, the remaining Concord commanders chose retreat over annihilation. 1 week later, Captain Park stood before the assembled rebel leaders and Gysiok's delegation from the reformist Concord faction. "The war isn't over," Park said, "but we've won a critical victory. More importantly, we've shown that different species can work together as equals." "What happens now?" asked Dayro of the Min Collective. Park looked at Hajun, who nodded. "The hyperspace drive is fully repaired. We can return to Earth, carrying representatives from both the rebellion and the reformed Concord. Together, we can establish proper diplomatic relations between Earth and the galaxy." "Will you come back?" Jae-sung asked. "Yes," Park promised. "Earth must know what's happening here, and humans should join this new galactic community, not as conquerors or saviors, but as partners." 3 days later, the Resilient prepared for its jump back to Earth. In its cargo bay stood a remarkable delegation, representatives from 17 species, including both former rebels and reformed Concord members. As the hyperspace drive hummed to life, Park thought about the incredible journey that had begun with one accidental jump. One human ship had appeared in this region of space and started a war, but that same ship was now bringing the promise of lasting peace. The stars streaked and vanished as the Resilient entered hyperspace, carrying news of a galaxy forever changed. Throughout the former conquered space, beings of all species looked up at the night sky. Some with hope, some with fear, all with wonder. The humans were coming back. Not just one ship this time, but many. Not as conquerors, but as allies. One human ship had changed everything. And this was only the beginning.